There it is. That's the story of this football game. Spread them around pretty evenly. Greg Morton. Another punt. Dwayne Thomas bobbles the football. The Giants recover, I believe. Yes, it is. Bottom of the pile, number 58, Jim Files.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time any day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. You can give this video a thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment below, or maybe share the video. I greatly appreciate it. It means so much to me. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you. Now, the Giants got to cut down to the to 80 today, so that means they got to go 5 more guys. So I'm going to keep an eye out on that. But after the preseason game, there was a couple of guys that got a little dinged up. Not exactly sure how horrible it is, but Andre Harper looked like he left with a groin injury. Now, if it's bad enough, I don't even know if he was going to make the final 53 anyway. But we'll have to keep an eye on it. See, who the Giants let go. They're going to let go of 5 today, so we'll have to wait and see. Keep an eye on them. Also, Quincy Wilson. He got carted off the field. It looked like with an ankle injury, so that might put the nail in the coffin for him. Then sadly, got Rice and John. He hobbled off. Looked like it was like a lower right leg injury. I don't know if it was an ankle. Hopefully, it's not an Achilles or anything like that. He had a pretty productive camp. He tied for the lead with 3 receptions against the Browns, but he did lead the team with 58 receiving yards, which is 19.3 yards per catch. So he was doing good. So hopefully it's nothing really horrible, and I'll just have to keep an eye on it. But as I said, they do got to let go of 5 guys today to get down to 80, and then after the preseason game this Sunday coming up, I think it's 6 o'clock against the Patriots. So, and after that game's over, they were looking at maybe getting the starters maybe to play a half, which would be cool. It'd be nice to see some the starters in there. But after that, then they got to go from 80 down to 53. So this is a big week coming up, big week. I just want to give a little shout out real fast to Brian Lewerke. I mean, is he going to be the savior? He's probably going to be the 3rd string quarterback. Hopefully we keep 3. As I said, is he going to be the savior and all of that? Probably not. Is he going to beat out Glennon for the second string quarterback? Probably not. But I was just very, very highly impressed. I think the Giants signed him, 6 days before the preseason game against the Browns. And so they signed him. I guess they gave him the book. He started going over some plays and all. But I think he only had 3 practice days, And it's kind of tough. When you're a quarterback, it helps to get some time and some rhythm down, with your receivers and all that. Just to come in here, get 3 practices, and there you go. Good luck. We'll see you at the end of the game, he did a pretty doggone good job. He was 11 out of 19, okay, which is more completions, 11, okay, that he had than the entire Giants team had the week before in the whole game against the Jets, which was 8, which is absolutely pathetic, and he had 108 receiving yards throwing the ball, okay, which was almost double what the Giants had the week before. It was minus the sacks and all against the Jets. I think they had 58 or 59 yards passing against the Jets. So he almost doubled, all right, what the Giants had against the Jets passing yards, all right. And he did that in 3 practices, okay. He had a touchdown pass. He had that nice back shoulder to David Sills. David Sills kind of, jump up and grab it. But that was pretty catch, pretty pass. Very, very nice. he had the one interception. That's because he almost pulled the game out of the fire. I mean, yeah, he had him drive, and they were down by 4. He had to throw the ball in the end zone. It was the last play. They got tipped. If it got tipped one way, maybe the Giants win the football game. Preseason, but he got tipped, and the Brown guy made the play. Kudos to him. But I mean, he almost pulled the game out. So gotta give the guy a lot of credit. He also had 3 rushes for 27 yards. All right, his quarterback rating was a 69.6. But it is what it is. But I mean, I just want to give a little shout out to him. It said, I mean, he had a nice career at Michigan State. I'm not exactly sure how they. I mean, I was looking online. Okay, his stats at Michigan State. He played there he was there from 2015, but he redshirted, so he didn't play any games. So he played from 2016 to 2019 at Michigan State. He completed 721 passes for out of 1,249 attempts. He only completed 57.7% of his passes, which is not really, outstanding in today's world. He did have 8,293 passing yards, which is, pretty impressive. He threw 47 touchdowns. Okay, but he threw 32 interceptions. But I was looking online. Somehow his quarterback rating is 120.8. I don't quite get that, but you can have 47 touchdowns, 32 interceptions, complete 57% of your passes, and your quarterback rating is 120.8. But it is what it is. Something funny I saw was in 2016, he only played 4 games at Michigan State. The reason why he played only 4 games that year was because in the 4th game he played, and he broke his tibia, against Michigan. And the guy who broke his tibia was Jabrill Peppers. Now they're teammates. But that was kind of funny. But he has a little injury history. Nothing huge, but a little injury history. He was undrafted. Okay. He was an undrafted free agent. The Patriots picked him up after 2020, after the draft was over. Okay, they signed him. Then they let him go, and then I think it was either I was reading, if I remember correctly, 4 days later they got him back again, and then on September 5th, they let him go, and he didn't play any last year at all. He played some spring ball, okay, and then the Giants signed him. So now he's trying to make, after Clayton Thorson, after they let him go, he had the concussion, he didn't look so hot, against the Jets, and also the Giants let him go, but then we signed Brian Lewerke, and I just want to give him a quick shout out. I think he did a very, very good job. I was also reading that Kyle Rudolph, now, he was stating, now of course it's an injury, so but he was stating that he wasn't going to miss any time. Now, of course, with injuries, things can go wrong and all this, and, unfortunately, you might have to miss some time. But things are starting to look a little bit brighter, a little bit more brighter. I was looking online, and I noticed that before the preseason game, Kyle Rudolph was out there running patterns and catching passes from Daniel Jones. Now, if you look, I saw a video. He was running. It wasn't like, he was just a little jogging out there. And I mean, maybe he wasn't going 100%, but he looked 80, 90% running. I mean, he looked pretty good. Caught the ball, so. Now, he has to come off the PUP list before the Giants get down to the final 53. So he has, pretty much about a week to do that. Now, if he's running patterns, it's a possibility. Now, he still has time until, they got 20 days to go, okay, before the first game against the Broncos. So if he comes off the list, I mean, we're not looking at putting him in there, half the plays or whatever. I mean, I'm sure he's just going to get a little he'll be on the pitch count. So will Saquon if Saquon gets in there. But I mean, Evan Ingram, he's been looking pretty good. I'll tell you, he's been. I've heard nothing but good things about him in the camp. So, in the beginning, Ingram will get a lot of the lion's share of the plays. But maybe Kyle Rudolph, if we get him on the 53, so we don't have to put him on the PUP list, then I guess if he doesn't make the final 53 and he's on the PUP list, he has to miss the first 6 games. So at least if he missed the first 6 games, when he does come back, he'll be ready to rock and roll. But I mean, they're just going to take him in there slowly, and they just put him in there for maybe 20 plays or so. I'm sure that would be acceptable. Now, I mean, he's huge. I mean, not only, so much because he's 6'6", all right? But, I mean, last year the Giants, I mean, just in the red zone, what he can do, all right, for the Giants, okay? Shoot, last year the Giants were 29th. The Giants only ran 120 red zone plays, all right? That's 29th in the league, all right? The Jets, Jacksonville, and I can't remember who the other team was, ran less than the Giants did. The Giants' touchdown percentage in the red zone, they were 31st. Of course, only the Jets were worst. The Giants, 46.3% of the time they got into the red zone, they scored a touchdown. Not even 1 out of every 2 times. Green Bay was number 1. 76.8% of the time they got into the red zone, they scored a touchdown. I mean, of course, it helps if you have a Hall of Fame quarterback, but, they scored touchdowns 30% more times than the Giants did. I mean, the Giants, how many games did they lose by like a possession? Or maybe they kicked a field goal, but if they scored a touchdown, got 4 more points, maybe they win the ball game. All right? How many times did that happen? The Giants had 41 red zone drives. That was 31st in the league. Once again, the Jets were the worst. They only had, that's like basically 2.5 red zone drives. So basically every 2 games, the Giants had 5 red zone drives. Not very impressive at all. Now, Kyle Rudolph, okay, which would make it so huge for the Giants, okay, from 2018 to 2020, all right, he had 167 targets, passes thrown his way. Okay, he only dropped 1. All right, Evan Ingram dropped about like 1 a game last year, almost 1 a game. Right, so the ball goes to Kyle Rudolph. If it's catchable, the man's bringing it down. Okay, and it's kind of funny because we're talking to him. He's on the PUP list, and he may not start the season. Also, it's be a little funny what I'm about to say, but. But since 2015, he's played in 92 out of 96 games, right? He's very reliable if you can get him on the field. So hopefully we'll get him on the field, but he's very, very reliable, okay? And he scored 48 touchdown receptions in his 10-year career, right? 40 of the 48 have come in the red zone. 83.3% of his touchdown receptions are in the red zone, all right? Now, as I said, he doesn't plan on missing any games, and and there's a possibility, he could come off the PUP list, which would be fantastic. I said because there's 20, basically there's almost about close to like 20 days, almost 3 weeks until opening season, opening game. So, and they're not going to put him in there a lot. He's going to get a pitch count. So I mean, there's a possibility, we can get him in there. So keep your fingers crossed. Now, I mean, this is not, out of the ordinary. I mean, a lot of times, a lot of veteran guys and all that and everything, especially if they're not going to be playing a lot, it's not, that out of the ordinary where guys don't want to really participate too much in preseason and then they're ready to go when regular season, so. Maybe that'll be the situation here. Who knows? But I mean, if we can get Kyle Rudolph in there, that would be huge. Not only that for his blocking, his run blocking ability, which leads me to my next guy, which would be Saquon. Right, to wrap this video up here. Now, Joe Judge was talking about, you know, we got the joint practices coming up. We're going up to New England for the practices, but then the preseason game on Sunday is back in New Jersey, all right? I'm not sure what happened last week. I mean, you go to Cleveland, or, you know, where the practice is at, then you play the preseason game there, and you come back. So I'm not sure why we're going up there for the 2 joint practices and we're coming back here, but whatever, it is what it is. But Saquon, and listen to what Joe Judge was talking about, is that Saquon might get in a little bit of action there, but probably not the preseason game, but maybe a little bit on the 7-on-7s, okay, or in the 11 drills, maybe with the joint practices. You know, obviously where guys aren't getting tackled or taken to the ground or anything like that. Saquon might start getting a little bit of action in there, which would be fantastic. I mean, as I said, if he does play, the first game against the Broncos, once again, he'll be on a pitch count too. But now what we did wind up seeing was that, Devontae Booker, okay, is more capable of, carrying the torch until he can pass it off to Saquon, okay? And we got Corey Clement in there as well too. As long as Corey can hold on to the football, all right. I mean, the final roster is not set yet, anyway. But I mean, Devontae Booker is going to be part of the team, and he did a very, very good job, okay, against Cleveland. So if Saquon's not in there much at all against the Broncos, at least Devontae Booker is quite capable of carrying the load until Saquon does come back. And as I said, if Corey Clement makes the team as well too, he's done as well. He's done pretty well this preseason as well too. But he's got to hold on to the football. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. Walking up and down the field, carrying the ball, catching the ball, and all that. If you can't hold on to the football, the ball security, as David Deal says, okay, ball security equals job security. And I gotta agree with him. If Corey Clement can't hold on to the football, if he fumbles one more time, you're gonna have a hard time making the final 53. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo!